Feeling anxious, trouble concentrating, panic attacks, depression, negative thoughts, you're not alone. Anxiety disorder is the most common mental illness in the United States, affecting over 40 million adults. Every year, the numbers are increasing. And are we handling it appropriately? They say that children, 54% of them, are suffering from mental health issues, and they're not being handled because of the infrastructure. So how to recognize anxiety in yourself and others? Here are some of the symptoms: trouble sleeping, concentrating, overthinking, rapid heartbeat, GI issues, headaches, migraines, trouble breathing, constantly worrying, procrastination, avoidance of issues or people, lack of patience, irritable. These are some of them. There's conventional medicine, and then there's functional medicine. And functional medicine, if you run organic acid tests, you can check your neurotransmitters, you could get to the root cause of medical imbalances and even nutritional deficiencies that can be triggering these anxiety attacks, panic issues, and even depressive thoughts. And that's what you want to do, get to the root cause. And this is why I'm so passionate about functional medicine testing, because you gain insight as opposed to guessing what's going on in your body. Yeah, you could run blood tests, and they're good for certain things, a CBC and adding vitamin D and B12, and you could see your glucose and your cholesterol and your white blood cells and your red blood cells. We want to see your nutritional deficiencies and your dopamine and norepinephrine and epinephrine and serotonin and excitotoxins, and see how that all connects with your GI tract and absorption and detoxification as well. Gaining insight into your neurotransmitter is going to be vital to getting to the root cause. Let's look at the brain. The brain regulates our thoughts as well as certain activities we rarely think of, such as sleeping and breathing and waking and digestion, to name a few, but also our actions and our emotions and our basic desires. And in support of this tremendous workload, the brain utilizes 20% of the entire energy supply from the body. But where does this energy supply come from is going to also be very important, because in the last 75 years we moved from a primarily whole foods diet to one that's processed, full of sugars and fats. And that's why Americans suffer with more issues of heart disease, cancer, degenerative issues, diabetes, obesity, anxiety, and depression, as opposed to individuals having traditional diets such as whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense food, because those are associated with lower risk of mental health issues. So what does the standard American diet do to your brain? Well, it actually affects your mood. 40% of how you feel mood-wise is directly related to your last meal. Let that sink in. What did you eat last, and how do you feel? And this is why I'm such a fan of keeping a journal of not only what you eat and drink, but your stress levels, how do you feel, your emotions, your sleep, your movement, all of that. Journal on that so you can determine your patterns. And then we look at sugar on the brain. According to brain scans, did you know that sugar is as addictive as cocaine? And just like cocaine, sugar intake eventually blunts dopamine release. High sugar consumption is linked to low IQ, anxiety, aggressive behavior, hyperactivity, depression, learning issues, fatigue, dementia, and Alzheimer's. So why are we eating so much of it? Because it's addictive. And what about trans fats on the brain? The World Health Organization declared that trans fats from hydrogenated vegetable oils were really toxic. At least they got that right. And most countries ban them. These fake fats, as I like to call them, raise your risk for type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular issues, obesity, and inflammation. Also, trans fats are associated with depression, anxiety, memory issues, irritability, and aggression, and they're found mostly in fried and processed foods. Now, what about gluten on the brain? We know gluten causes inflammation. It's not just a fad being gluten-free. The interesting thing is we didn't survive on gluten. We didn't need it for survival. New England Journal of Medicine listed 55 diseases associated with consuming gluten, such as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, dementia, migraines, Alzheimer's, and much more. Why is that? Because gluten contains significant amounts of glutamate, and glutamate is an excitotoxin. What's an excitotoxin? An excitotoxin is a substance that overexcites, damages, and even kills neurons, brain cells. So why aren't we looking at nutrition? And why aren't we looking at something called nutritional neuroscience? Well, could it be because nutrition is historically glossed over in the American Medical Association as well as postgraduate mental health programs? We know that diet impacts our health, our total wellness. So lots of conventional practitioners haven't been taught, but even postgraduate mental health programs, they're not teaching it. And that's a disservice to humanity, because then these practitioners cannot empower their clientele, their patients, with insight into what foods are best for them, what foods to avoid, what supplements can help, and look at the imbalances, because there are vitamin and mineral deficiencies. There are certain micronutrients that the brain needs, certain B vitamins, C, D, and many more. And depending on your levels, if you're deficient in one over another, a multivitamin is not going to help. You have to take extra for the one that you are deficient in to keep you feeling balanced, even-keeled, and the goal is anxiety-free. Healthy gut, healthy mind, healthy mood. We know that there is a gut-brain axis, scientifically proven. What happens in the gut can communicate to the brain. If there's not enough beneficial bacteria in the gut, we cannot manufacture serotonin. It can impact our chemical messaging from the brain to the gut and the gut to the brain. So let's keep your gut healthy. Take really quality probiotics of Acidophilus and Bifidus and work on that healthy gut, healthy mind, healthy mood. And then also look at your nutrition, because either the food is going to be toxic or medicinal for you. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly of nutrition, I like to call it. Read your labels. What's a maltodextrin? What is it from? What is it derived from? What are these ingredients in the processed foods? Listen, if you're having a sweet potato, especially if it's organic, you know it's a sweet potato. But if you're having sweet potato chips, you have to look at all the ingredients, and that's when we can fall victim to either sugar or trans fats or glutamate, an excitotoxin, or some type of toxin like glyphosate or a pesticide. The most powerful tool you have to change your brain and your health is first gaining insight how your body functions, also keeping track of a journal to see if there are patterns. And here's quick 9 ways to naturally reduce anxiety. And really, these tips will help you lead a healthier lifestyle. Staying active. We know regular exercise is good for your mental and physical health. Staying hydrated with water. Not drinking alcohol. It lowers your glutathione levels. It dehydrates you. So if you are going to drink alcohol, make sure you have an extra glass of purified water. Stop smoking or vaping. What vices are you going to? And see if you can reduce that. Ditch caffeine. If you need 1 cup, make sure it's organic. If it's coffee, if it's soda, or any other foods that have caffeine, reduce that. Get more quality sleep. See why you're not sleeping. Are you eating too close to bedtime? And then meditate, laugh, find joy and gratitude, and journal. Eat a healthy, balanced diet with no to low sugar, no corn because it's an excitotoxin, as well as soy, no gluten, no dairy. So what's left? Check out my Instagram page at Nancy Guberti, because I take pictures of everything I'm eating, and it is gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, corn-free. It is delicious and nutritious as well. And then practice deep breathing. You could also do this listening to music that resets your neurotransmitters. And if you can, go to your practitioner and get functional medicine testing, an organic acid test, the glyphosate test. Look at how your body's functioning, and then follow a customized supplement regimen. If you want the Freedom from Anxiety guidebook, go to my website at nancyguberti.com, enter your name and email address, get that as well. And really remember that you have to become your best health advocate. No one's going to do this for you. You are here for a reason. You have goals and dreams and aspirations you want to manifest. And in order to do that, you have to reach total wellness of mind and body. I know you could do it, and just remember that you are worth it. Bye now.